What is going on, YouTubers? My name is Matthew Salvent. I am a registered nurse and a certified meditation practitioner, and welcome to the Art of Inner Peace. In this channel, we talk about how to obtain a true inner peace and freedom regardless of anything that life may throw at you. So if that sounds great to you, then stick around, because all it takes is for you to get one of the concepts that I talk about in order for you to be in peace forever, okay? Also, if you guys want to work with me, the link is in the description below, okay? Now, the topic of today's conversation is going to be, you create just like God created you. And to start off, I have a quote from A Course in Miracles, one of my favorite books, okay? And this explains everything perfectly, okay? So, to extend is a fundamental aspect of God, which he gave to his Son. In the creation, God extended himself to his creations and imbued them with the same loving will to create. You have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. There is no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your Creator, you are creative. No child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what he is. But he can use it inappropriately by projecting. The inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you, and that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of truth. So much to unpack here. I know it's a big quote, but it has everything that you could possibly need. It's the best way I could describe it. All right, so let's break it down, okay, step by step. First off, God. Oh, wait, whoops, let me get the right color. Okay, perfect. God. Let's talk about God for a second here, okay? God is the all, okay? Is all things, right? Everything that you can possibly picture, everything that you can possibly perceive of, everything in the universe, right, comes from God himself, okay? Now, feel free to use whatever term is good for you, okay? I say this all the time because the word is not important, but it is the understanding, okay? So some people, they prefer to use consciousness. Others prefer to use the divine, okay? The universe, right? Allah. Again, etc., etc. I write this all the time because it is so important to understand that it's not the word itself or the term that is important, but it is the understanding that there is a greater power that is far greater than what you can even begin to understand. And this power extended and created you along with everything. And in the same way that it extended and created you, you are able to extend and create because you have been given the same ability. You are creative. You are spirit, which leads me to the next point, right? Let me just see this. Let me point an arrow, and then we are going to put extension and creation. All right? And then we are going to put you. All right? You, or yourself, with a capital S, okay? Or spirit. Whatever it is you want to call it, right? The main thing is understanding, right, your divinity. Understanding that you are not the ego that you think that you are, and you are not limited by anything in this physical reality. You are spirit. You are unlimited. You are unlimited. For you were made in the image of God. So you, again, are perfect as you are. You see, how many times do we think that, there's something that we need to do, okay? Let me just put my computer to charge, guys. I'm sorry for the interruptions. I don't want it to die. How many times do we think that there is something that we need to achieve? That there is something that we need to do in order for us to then be accepted, okay? Or saved, or, there's things that we need to do, and then we are worthy of whatever it is that we desire. All of this is an illusion. All of this is simply your ego. It is your ego presenting the fact that, or the idea, the perception, the illusion that you are separate from other things. But the reality is that you are all things. You are all things because you were made in the image of the Creator, along with everything else that you can see. And even the things that you can't, okay? The universe itself is comprised of nothing but God. And again, feel free to use whatever term is good for you, okay? But it is all things. And you are spirit. And as spirit that you are unlimited because you were made in the image of God. So you are perfect. All right? So you have not only been fully created, but have also been created perfect. Of course, because you were created in the image of the Creator who is perfect, who is all things at all times. You are one with everything, and everything is one with you. This is so incredibly important for you to understand, because for as long as you continue to identify with the illusion of the ego, you will suffer. And you will create things that you don't intend because you are failing to remember who you truly are, which is spirit. There is no emptiness in you. Because of your likeness to your Creator, you are creative. You lack nothing. Again, you lack nothing. You are perfect as you are. You are worthy of absolutely everything that you can possibly desire. Now, why is this the case? Because you are literally an extension and creation of God. How can you not be perfect when you were created by God or the divine, the universe, whatever it is you want to call it? You are perfect as you are for the spirit, which is the reality of who you are. No child of God can lose this ability because it is inherent in what he is. But he can use it inappropriately by projecting. This is a big point here, okay? This part here. How many times do we use our power inappropriately? Okay? And what I mean is how many times do we look outside of ourselves and allow things to dictate how we feel? How many times do we allow reality to show us what we should believe is true instead of us deciding for ourselves what we believe is true? This part is extremely important because how many times do we give the power outside of ourselves? Stop projecting your, and we'll put blue, power outside of yourself. We're going to turn the screen too. Stop projecting your power outside of yourself. Nothing has power over you unless given power by you. Nothing has got power over you unless given power from above. What that quote is trying to say is that nothing has got power over you unless you give it power, because you are the power. You are an extension and creation of the power. And you, just like the quote says, because of your likeness to your creator, you are creative. You have the same power as the creator to extend and create, just like the creator extended and created you. Again, there's no separation between you and anything. The inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you, and that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of truth. Now, all right, this is important, and I want to illustrate something, okay? Your spirit. In physical reality, and from the physical reality, which is simply an illusion, okay, there also comes the ego. Okay? Now, I put it in this color to illustrate the point here, okay, that the ego is an illusion. Separation is an illusion, okay? So just like what the quote says, okay, the inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you, and that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of truth. So you lack nothing. As the spirit of God that you are. In fact, you are all things, and all things are you. You are one with everything. And deep down in your soul, in your spirit, you know that this is true. But since we have incarnated in physical reality at this time, we have developed an ego. Okay? And the ego is nothing more than an entity that was born out of the physical world. So all the ego knows is separation. All it can perceive of, all it can understand is that you are a separate human. But the reality is that you are not human, you are spirit with a temporary human construct. So the spirit is the reality of who you are. You have to understand who you are, because for as long as you think you are the ego, you will forever be stuck in the illusion of separation. So the spirit is the reality of who you are. And now we project, we extend, or we think that things outside of ourselves, right, can make us feel, or we believe that something outside of ourselves has got power over us because we believe that we are separate, because we are identifying with the ego instead of the spirit, which is the all. Do you guys catch it now? Do you catch the drift? So, the inappropriate use of extension or projection occurs when you believe that some emptiness or lack exists in you and that you can fill it with your own ideas instead of truth. You think that you can fill up, right, your own cup, basically put, with the illusions of who you think you are, which is why you are suffering the way that you are. Which is why your desired realities are not materializing for you, because you still believe that you are separate from it. But the reality is that you are not separate from anything because of the reality of who you are, which is spirit. And you were extended and created by the Creator. The spirit is who you are, and you are all things. And everything is all with you. I need you guys to understand that, okay? I'm going to sound like a broken record here until you guys understand it. Because I don't want you to suffer. The world can be a beautiful place. And you can experience miracles daily, as long as you identify and you remember the reality of who you are, which is spirit. There is nothing for you to do. There is nothing for you to create. There is nothing for you to, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have to become a worthy person, right? In order for you to get whatever it is that you desire. No, you are already perfect because you were made in the image of God. You are unlimited. So start identifying with the reality of who you are, instead of the illusion of who you think you are. Catch you guys on the flip side.